After a week of speculation about whether President Donald Trump would authorize a military strike on Iran, the White House signaled that there may still be a path to diplomacy. White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt announced Thursday that there is a substantial chance renewed negotiations with Iran could take place.
The message directly from the president, and I quote, "Based on the fact that there's a substantial chance of negotiations that may or may not take place with Iran in the near future."
The development comes as Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi is expected to meet with European officials in Geneva on Friday. During a press briefing, Leavitt confirmed that U.S. and Iranian representatives have participated in 6 rounds of both direct and indirect talks since the outbreak of hostilities with Israel on June 13th. She did not confirm whether U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, who has led the administration's diplomatic outreach to Iran, would be in Geneva for the meetings.
Out on Mr. Witkoff's travel schedule, but I can certainly check in with him to be sure. As for correspondence between the United States and the Iranians, I can confirm that correspondence has continued. As you know, we were engaged with 6 rounds of negotiations with them in both indirect and direct ways.
When asked by Fox News correspondent Jackie Heinrich if Iran's ability to reach Geneva suggested they could also engage in talks at the White House, Leavitt declined to speculate. "I am not going to get into hypotheticals, but as you heard from the president yesterday, they have expressed interest in doing so," she said.
Jackie.
Thank you, Caroline.
Sure.
Logistically, if the Iranians are getting to Geneva, does that mean they've found a way to get to the White House?
I am not going to get into hypotheticals, but as you heard from the president yesterday, they have expressed interest in doing so.
She reiterated that while Trump prefers a diplomatic resolution, any potential agreement with Iran must prohibit uranium enrichment. The president has consistently voiced opposition to Iran's nuclear program, viewing it as a major security threat.
I don't want to get involved either, but I've been saying for 20 years, maybe longer, that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. I've been saying it for a long time, and I think they were a few weeks away from having one.
Leavitt warned that Iran is closer than ever to developing a nuclear weapon. Iran has all that it needs to achieve a nuclear weapon. All they need is a decision from the supreme leader to do that, she said. She added that if Iran chooses to proceed, it could produce a nuclear weapon within weeks, creating a grave risk for Israel, the U.S., and global stability. Leavitt emphasized that the U.S. would not allow Iran to obtain a nuclear weapon.
Iran has all that it needs to achieve a nuclear weapon. All they need is a decision from the supreme leader to do that. And it would take a couple of weeks to complete the production of that weapon, which would of course pose an existential threat, not just to Israel, but to the United States and to the entire world. And that is something that the entire world, including countries like Russia, is in agreement with, that Iran should not and cannot obtain a nuclear weapon.
She said the deal proposed by Envoy Witkoff was realistic and met the administration's standards, which is why Trump endorsed it. The press secretary concluded by underscoring Trump's warning to Iran, "Make a deal or face serious consequences."
Look, Iran is in a very weak and vulnerable position because of the strikes and the attacks from Israel. And with respect to the president's statement, I shared that with all of you. And he has been very direct and clear. Iran can and should make a deal. We sent a deal to them that was practical, that was realistic, or they will face grave consequences.
Why is Steve Witkoff?